Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Poke ETF channel, where we combine Pokemon and data analytics together to keep track of our precious collection. And in today's video, we will be going through our usual monthly price update of full art trainers of July 2024. And spoiler alert, there's nothing much going on other than a 6-month stagnation. But before we begin, I just want to shout out a big thank you for you all in supporting the channel. This channel has been going through much good growth, and it's all due to you guys. By liking the video, it goes a long way in supporting the channel. And commenting, I read every comment, and I love it. I reply to all of it. And subscribing to the channel so that you're always up to date on the most time-sensitive price update, because prices go up and down real fast. And for those, I know there's a few of you that's been part of the channel membership by purchasing the $1 membership. Even though it's $1, it goes a long way in showing me that there are people out there, such as you, really value the content that I provide. And so without further ado, let's begin. As always, I always like to start a high-level overview of the whole complete collection. If you've been following my channel, or for those who haven't been following, Full Art Trainers exploded last summer, all the way to fall. It was $6,000 last May 2023, shoot up around $2,000 up to around $8,000 at the end of September 2023. And then it declined from October 2023 all the way to around January 2024, back to this very similar level. And then for the next 6 months, it's been pretty much flat. And so with that, looking at all of the most expensive full art trainers, you can see that there's light green, light red, and so there's not much price movement. It's really half and half, and it just shows that it's really cold weather for full art trainers. The hype is dying, or pretty much dead, and it's just pretty much waiting to see whether it will pick back up or will continue to go down. And looking at it by set, blue is the sun and moon. Of course, if you've been following the full art trainers craze, or been following the full art trainers closely, you know that the most expensive full art trainers have been in the sun and moon. And then the red is the black and white, which is the first era of the full art trainers. And then you have your one yellow, which is the Hex Maniac, and then the one green is the Scarlet and Violet. So it's really predominantly sun and moon. And then looking at it by set, black and white, it would cost you around $900 beginning of June. Today, it would cost you around $950, went up around $37, representing a 4.1% increase. Looking at the XY, it would cost you around $670, pretty much the same now. It went up $1, representing a 0.2% increase. Then sun and moon, again, look at that. It just went up $3 in June 2024, representing a 0.1% increase. Then looking at the sword and shield, $1,100 at the beginning of June 2024, went down $43, representing a 3.9% decrease. Then lastly, Scarlet and Violet would cost you around $572, went down $38, representing a 6.6% decrease. And so overall, it would cost around $7,094 to have a complete full art trainer collection. And overall, it went down $38, representing a 0.5% decrease. And again, that just shows that not much price movement overall. Is a 6-month stagnation, price stagnation. Then looking at the black and white, there are 8 full art trainers that began in all. The most decrease is the Professor Juniper number 116 from Plasma Freeze. It was a $96 card, then went down to $3, representing a 2.9% decrease. Looking at the graph, you can see that it's just going down slowly. And looking at the candle price analysis, you can see that the bar, it's pretty much non-existent. That just shows you that there's really not much price movement up or down for this card. Then moving on to the most increased card of black and white is the Iris number 101 from Plasma Blast. It was around $122, went up $25, representing a 20.4% increase. I love it. I mean, I've been saying it. I love this card out of all these 8 cards, and it well deserved. And looking at the graph, you can see that it started around $100 and now it's around $147. Looking at the candle price analysis, you can see that it's very pretty much even in terms of the quadrant, but you can see that most of the dots, you can see that it's really up, and so it just shows that there are price movement going up. And then looking at the XY top decrease is the Scarlet number 122 from Breakpoint. It was around $42 card, went down $1, representing a 2.4% decrease. Looking at the graph, you can see that it was around $36, went up all the way to around $58 last year, and then just slowly going down as it's pretty much flat. And just looking at the candle price analysis, you can see that the light gray bar is really huge, and then the dark gray bar is very tiny, and then that the middle point between the dark gray and the light gray is around $42. And so that there's a lot of the price point around that area, and so you can see that stabilized around the $42 mark. And then looking at the top increase is the Renona number 108 from the Roaring Skies, around $33, went up $34 this month, and then representing an 11.2% increase. And again, as I said, if you've been following me, I said Renona is a really cool card. I love this card as well. It was around $17 and it was around $28 one time, and I said it's pretty cheap given that this card is really old, and so you can see that it's just going up. And looking at the candle price analysis, you can see that there's a lot of price points really representing in the first or second higher quadrant. Looking at the Sun and Moon top decrease, Lily's Full Force number 230 from Cosmic Eclipse, it was around $151, went down $13, representing an 8.8% decrease, now hovering around $138. And so it was around $88 last year, went up as high as $180, and now around under $140. And looking at the candle price analysis, you can see that you can see that the dark gray and the light gray is really more representing in the upper quadrant. And so a lot of the price point are around that area, and so we will see whether it will stabilize. I think it will stabilize around this price point. And then the Sabrina's Suggestion is the second top decrease. It was around $114, went down $6 to around $108, representing a 5.3% decrease. Looking at the graph, it's pretty evenly distributed. Looking at the candle price analysis, you can see that the range is not that much. You can see, right? You can see a lot of the price point. There's not much volatility for this card, and so I always say that around these price points is really stable. And so if you're a full art trainer collector, if you can find a card like this, Sabrina's Suggestion, under $100 will be a good price point. Then looking at the top increase is a Lucia number 164, around $273, went up $6, representing a 2.3% increase. Yeah, again, this is the top increase and it's $6. And yeah, even though it's a 2.3% increase, it's still $6. Looking at the graph, you can see that it's pretty much stable, slowly creeping up. Looking at the candle price analysis, again, look at the bars. There's really no big bars, the length of the bar. And so a lot of the prices are hovering around that, within that quadrant. Looking at the Lily number 151 from Ultra Prism, around $381, went up around $4, representing a 1.2% increase, the holy grail of all full art trainers. But looking at the graph, I mean, it really went back down to where it was around last summer. You can see that it was around $340, went up to around $500, and now it's under $400. I mean, look at the candle price analysis, like the range is huge, and this is what I mean by the volatility, even though it's not really back up and down, but you can see that because it goes up so much, there's so much room to go down because you need demand to sustain that kind of growth. And when hardships come, people were gonna liquidate. I feel like a lot of these people sold, they liquidated, they profited, they got their profit, and people liquidated their lilies. And again, if you're a full art trainer collector and you need a lily, this is good for you. But if you're holding on to the lily, it's still good because this is the holy grail of all the full art trainers. And looking into the next era, Sword and Shield, we have our Sonya number 192 from Rebel Clash. It was around $25.82, went down $4, representing a 15% decrease. Looking at the graph, it used to be around $56. Look at the price spike. Again, when I saw this, I knew this was very artificial. I told you not to jump on it, and I told you if you had it, you should sell it. I sold a lot of my copies. I had like maybe 6 of this copy, and I sold all of them except for one, just so that I have a complete full art trainer collection. And so now it's under $22. I might rebuy a lot of copies back. I mean, I would say this card for around $18, you can probably find this card for $18 if you look around Reddit or Facebook or other marketplace. It's a good steal for a Rebel Clash set. Looking at the next is the Lance number 192 from the Silver Tempest. Remember this guy? It was around $7, went down $3 this month, representing a 45.6% decrease. Just look at the graph. Remember, if you've been following me, when I saw this price spike, I said it's hella artificial. You should sell whatever copy you should have. And then look at it. It went back down to $4. It was extremely speculative, whether I think it was due to like a deck spec or maybe the upcoming dragon set or whatever it was. It is unsustainable. Then looking at the top increase is the Boss's Order, the secret version of number 200 from Rebel Clash. It was around $20, went up around $3, representing a 12.1% increase. Looking at the graph, pretty stable. I think the reason why it's going up is because Boss's Order is a staple in the Pokemon TCG, but again, I don't know why this version, because there's a lot of other cheaper version of the Boss's Order. And then looking into the next era, Scarlet and Violet, the latest, newest era, we have our Iono number 269. It was around $78, went down $5, representing a 7.2% decrease. This was a chase card of the Paldea Evolve, and it's going down. And looking at the graph, I don't know, if you've been following my channel, the last 12 videos of Full Art Trainer, when it was around $100, I said it's still too high, and now it's $70, and I still think it's too high. I still think it potentially can go to around $60. And looking at the candle price analysis, you can see that all of the quadrants are in the lower end, and so a lot of pressure, selling pressure, downward pressure. Then next is the Miriam number 251, the chase card of the Scarlet and Violet base set, around $33, now $29, went down $5, representing a 13.9% decrease. Again, same story. When this set came out, it was around $55, $54, went down $40. I still said it's too overly priced, and now around $22, now hovering around $28. I still think it has room to go down to around $20. And so again, don't FOMO. Scarlet and Violet card. I still haven't really obtained a lot of Scarlet and Violet cards because I'm still waiting maybe one more year, and then I'll look at all of these prices and see what I should be buying. Then the top increase is the Iona number 237, Paldean Face, the special set, and you're like, hey, see, this is going up. But if you look at the graph, it used to be $100, went down $68, went down $35. It's just going down and down slowly, but still going down. So even though this month it went up 7.6% increase, but you can see the downward trajectory. I mean, I would say this card will be around $25. That is my best guess. And so if it's around $25, yeah, I'll consider buying this card around $20. And so there you have it, a complete overview, full art trainer price update of June 2024. Spoiler, or not really spoiler, if you've been listening to me up to this point, you know this is a 6-month stagnation. And so it's a half red, half light green, not much price movement. Overall, the whole entire full art trainer went down 0.5%. And so again, hopefully you value this content. Hopefully it helps you in your collecting journey. And so with that, like the video, subscribe to the channel so that you're always up to date on the most recent price update on full art trainer, trainer gallery, and sword and shield alternate art, and many more. And comment below on what you think of the full art trainers. And so with that, go forth and collect them all.